Welcome to Spiritual Nuggets Podcast, where you have the opportunity to enjoy His presence in miniature portions. These are not oversized, repetitive expressions that lose their value. They are nuggets, larger than a crumb, yet small enough for you to enjoy in a single sitting. So, take a moment to listen and let these nuggets feed your soul. Episode 3 spotlights a small organ of God's creative package. Unlike the anteater, who uses his tongue to gather food, this organ of the human body wields power and influence. It has moral qualities and through words can project hope and encouragement. On the dark side, it frequently cuts, devours, poisons, and curses. Potty words often erupt like a volcano from a heart that stores bitterness, jealousy, untruth, and disharmony. We put bits in the mouths of horses to guide and direct them. But how do we control the tongue of a human? More practical is to set the standard and surrender your tongue and words to the Spirit of God. Be identified as a life-giving peacemaker whose words stream sensitivity, kindness, and encouragement. Enjoy this bite-sized spiritual nugget and text us any comments or feedback from the show notes. If you change the way you use your tongue, it will change the way you think. Recently, I have noticed an overall increase in death by words. These deaths are occurring daily in our homes, schools, churches, social activities, and political environments. The number of deaths is threatening the very existence of our country. Words have long-term effects, and in certain situations, the power in words is devastating. Several years ago, the federal law was amended, Rose's Law, to change the reference of mentally retarded to intellectual disability. The ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990, legally defines a person with a limiting physical or mental life activity as disabled. The effect of this change has widespread legal implications concerning discrimination. However, the emotionally positive effect of this difference is sweeping. Have you ever called someone retarded or retard and had those who heard you begin to laugh at that person? Imagine the impact on the person's emotional self-worth and self-esteem. Your words call out this person in a negative light that unleashes the same power as a loaded gun. I had a similar childhood experience. For years, I painfully endured shame brought about by the regular reference to my skin color. Even worse, a member of my immediate family was a dispenser of this word. This shame did not go away overnight. It took several years of counseling to overcome. Words can cripple, destroy, and limit a person even more than a disability. In fact, they may trigger a negative choice that leads to death. But what about you and me, as believers who forget the qualities such a small part of our body, the tongue, is capable of spreading? Tongue of humankind is one of the most uncontrollable, unforgiving parts of the body. It is described as a world of iniquity, capable of defiling our physical bodies, mind, and emotions. Figuratively speaking, it is a sharp knife that can cut, prick, or stick. It can bless by strengthening, encouraging, building up, loving unconditionally, being truthful, showing appreciation, offering positive acknowledgement, extolling and praising God, and giving wise counsel and comfort. On the other hand, it can spew out unkindness and hurt with deceit, lying, name-calling, put-downs, trash talk, bitter words, character assassination, swearing, boasting, judgment, guilt, and anger. We praise and worship the Lord with our words, yet we curse our family members, children, employers, pastors, political representatives, and the list goes on. Our spiritual example in the use of words to those not in the faith is a conundrum. What is so amazing is that God gave His creation the ability to have dominion over the animal kingdom, yet we struggle with controlling our tongue. I have heard it asked, "So why should I change? You act just like me." That is an indictment we want to avoid like the plague. Changing what comes out of the fountain of my mouth means surrendering everything to the Lord. There are no new ways or rules to follow to do this. You just reach into your spirit and pull out the fruit of love. When you eat this fruit, you will receive majestic grace filled with power to bring hope and encouragement. Remember, you own the words that come from your mouth. With words, you can elevate life or encourage death. Which will be your legacy?